Hi everyone, welcome to Careervues. I am Nancy. I'm the founder and principal consultant at Careervues. I provide career solutions to the professionals who need to advance their careers and need any kind of advices during their professional journey. Today I'm going to talk about financial freedom. With life being so uncertain during COVID-19, a lot of us are shifting our perspectives about how we live and how we enjoy our life. The topic of financial freedom is of interest to many today. But before I start speaking about financial freedom, let me tell you a story about Leo Tolstoy. He was a Russian novelist, and his story in particular fascinates me. So I want to share the story with you today. One day, there was a poor man who went to the king and told him that he needs assistance because he's very poor, he's not able to manage his living. To which king gave a thought and he said, okay, come to me tomorrow morning. He said, why not now? Why you can't help me now? He said, because whatever you need, I think if I provide you some land, you will be able to do some kind of work on that land and your expenses would be managed. He said, yeah, fair enough. So I'll come tomorrow morning, and what do I do after that? The king told him, I'll make you run on a piece of land. You will start running in the morning and you have to come at your starting point before the sunset. Whatever land you cover on foot will be yours. The man became very happy. He could not sleep through the night. He did not eat much in the morning. He thought, if I eat much, I'll feel heavy or bloated. I would not be able to run fast. With the intention of covering as much land as he could, he went back to the king. The king said, okay, your time starts now. Start running, but make sure you are back before sunset at the same point. Otherwise, you get nothing. The men started to run. He ran, and he became hungry. He became thirsty. But he did not stop to do anything because he did not want to waste any time compromising the piece of land even in inches. So he kept on running. He could see that it's afternoon now. He should go back. His mind is telling him to go back, but his heart is telling a little bit more. If I had this much more land, this is what I could do with it. With millions of dreams in his mind and the positive intention in his heart is not even allowing him to stop and take a pause. And he kept on running. Now it was evening time. Ideally, he would have started to go back. But his mind and his greed for more and more land would not allow him. By the time it is 5 o'clock, he thinks, now it's enough. I should go back. He runs as fast as he could. But because of dehydration and covering all the land on foot, he started to run back, but his speed was not enough for him to reach to the land where he started. He fell on the ground in the middle and he lost his life. The story teaches us that sometimes we get so caught up in life that we compromise many things. We don't want to take a pause. We don't want to reflect on how much and what actually we need to survive. That's what financial freedom is all about. Financial freedom means having the resources through which you can decide if you want to work or you don't want to work. But essentially, there is no need for you to work. That's where, when you reach this point, it means you have attained your financial freedom. But financial freedom is very different for different people. So let's talk about this topic in detail now. Too many individuals work too hard all through their life and they get frustrated at the end. They lose their work-life balance. Sometimes they lose their loved ones. What if you have an alternative through which you could make some smart choices and evaluate what you need in your life and work for that much only? Why to run behind everything when we know there is no end to physical possessions? Financial burdens make us make some desperate choices which are not good for us in the long run. If you've crossed 40 years of your age, it's high time that you should think about financial freedom and start working towards it. We all work for money and eventually get imprisoned in a golden cage. where we need more and more for sometimes the things that we don't need, to please the people who would not come in the time of our need. So why not to live for ourselves? Why not to live a life that is good for us and have the things that we really need? The concept seems very strange to many, and some people find it really impossible to follow. But it is not difficult. Financial freedom could be achieved. It's more of a controlling your mindset. We have to bear in mind, financial freedom is different for different people. Some people dream of having their own home. Some people would like to travel more and more. Some people would like to educate their kids in best of the universities. So these are the obligations they work for. They work for building their own house. They work for traveling more and more. They work for educating their kids well. The first thing to ask while you're working towards your financial freedom is what is important to you and why this thing is so much significant to you. I may not need a giant villa to live. Can I manage in an apartment? When you make a list of best of the universities, you might realize that some universities are more price competitive than the others. So why not to try for the ones which are more price competitive? Or have a list, have a range of universities rather than being very stern on some particular universities. It takes a conscious effort and determination to achieve financial freedom. There are two aspects of reaching financial freedom. One is generating wealth, how you can have this money. The second one, what is the most important thing for you to do with that money without being in any of the rat race? Whatever you do, it is for your own satisfaction, not for the world. One of my colleagues, he was being promoted to a senior director. He refused the position because he was already in a very stressful job and he had enough money in his bank account. He could have taken that position, he could have lived even more lavishly, but he refused to do that. That's where his conscience told him that you have what you need. Now stop here. No need to be in a race with the world where you are constantly running, neglecting so much beautiful things that you lose on the way. For example, spending more time with your family when you have less responsibilities at work. Not working so hard and taking care of your body, having a physical routine which is good for you, checking on your mental health regularly without being in pressure to deliver, to earn more and more. After understanding what financial freedom means to you, what is your why, the next step is how you're going to achieve it. So I'm going to share some tips with you that would definitely help you to achieve financial freedom. First of all, understand all your liabilities. Note them down in a piece of paper. How much debt you have, what are your future aspirations, what kind of EMIs you're paying for different things, and your lifestyle. While doing so, always remember the first step is the hardest. You may feel sad or depressed seeing that there is a long way to go ahead. There is a lot of debt you may have, or there is a lot to do in life, how or when you would achieve financial freedom. Don't let these things pull you back. You can still achieve financial freedom. No, it doesn't matter which background you're coming from. To console you, now have a look at the money you have been saving for years. If you have any savings in your bank account, that is a plus at this stage. It would work as against settling your debts, and it will give you a clear picture of how much more would you need. Write down your genuine goals, whether it's traveling, whether it's your kids' education, getting married in a certain way, it could be anything. Write the goals which are most important to you. And at the same time, in front of those goals, mention how much money you would require to fulfill those goals. I'm not talking about your short-term goals. You can have 5 or you can have as many as 100 goals, small or big ones. Here we are talking about the big goals which require a big chunk of money out of your pocket. So have your goals and write in front of those goals till you die. What are the things, what is in your bucket list that you want to complete and how much that would cost? Trust me, by taking these small steps, you can escape the 9 to 5 grind. The next thing that comes is identifying your expenses, your monthly expenses. Is there a room for more savings? That should be your next question. You must identify if you could save more money somehow. If you could cut down your expenses at present and reach or take a smaller step towards reaching your financial freedom. Maybe if you cut down or on eating out and cook your own food, you might be able to save a lot of money depending on the country you are living in. Or you might choose, as I said, universities. You might plan your retirement early, which would give you a very clear image of how your old age looks like to you and what you have to do to reach there. Take baby steps. Start month by month. Each month should help you cutting down your unnecessary expenses and giving you a better lifestyle. But do not compromise. By cutting down expenses, I do not mean that you compromise now and live later. But at the same time, anything which is going on extravagant, that you should keep into consideration on how you could better manage that. The next thing, start saving first. When you get your monthly paycheck, make sure you keep your savings aside. Along with your laundry bills, your household expenses, your kids' fees, or whatever it is, make sure even if it's $1, you're making a saving. At times we don't even realize time passes so fast. Even if small savings, they give us a good amount of money in few years to come. So why not start now? As I mentioned earlier, do not cut down on the things that you enjoy the most. Cut down on expenses. Life is very short. Buy experiences. Do the things that you really wanted to do. And even after living in your present, see what kind of a savings you can make and what more you could do in your free time to earn some extra bucks. Trust me, financial freedom doesn't have to be built on a compromised staircase of a lifestyle. We have to manage our present while we work on our future. Focus on clearing your debts. Make sure you clear your debts slowly and gradually. Whatever your savings are, you should start reducing your debt slowly and gradually. The lesser debt you see, the more your savings will be. Transition is difficult, but clearing off your debts should be a priority. Once your debts get reduced, of course you are going to see more savings. How you're going to increase those savings? Invest in your future. Do something as an investment, probably that gives you a good interest rate through a bank, or invest in a small property, have a rental income, anything that you could do which runs on an autopilot mode while you work part-time or extra hours or work during your free time to increase your earnings. It's a step-by-step gradual process. And while we work for our financial freedom, we should understand that emergencies are a part of life. Don't get disheartened if you have any situation where your money goes off in between. Once you train your brain to work towards your financial freedom, you can again gain that money and start working in the same direction. An important aspect that we all miss while working on financial freedom is to negotiate. Negotiate wherever possible, whether it's your salary, whether paying off anything. Check with the banks if they could give you any additional discount. Do not miss to negotiate. I really hope you found this video useful. Start working on your financial freedom so that you are no more a slave of daily 9 to 5 routine, and by the time you start saving for yourself, it's too late. Trust me, it's achievable. Financial freedom is achievable for anyone and everyone. Let me know in the comments, how did you like my video? Do subscribe to my channel, do press the bell icon. Stay tuned to Careervues for more videos every week. Thank you for watching.